My name is Caleb Coker. I grew up in a small town in Fountain, South Carolina. Grew up fundamentalist Christian, grew up Jehovah's Witness, and came here in 2010, music major, music education. My identity is specifically polyqueer. What that means is that I'm polyamorous in that I date more than one person at once, and queer being neither man or woman, and also queer in my political views and sexuality as well. I came out when I was 13 as bisexual. I would come out again when I was 15 as gay. When I hit about 20 years old, I started experiencing what's called gender dysphoria. You start experiencing that you're not like in the right body is kind of how the media portrays it, like the feeling of being transgender, the feeling of not identifying with the gender that you were assigned at birth. You didn't feel like either a man or a woman. I found that there are people called genderqueer, and that was like eye-opening. So drag, I didn't really get into it that much until Miss Gamecock. They needed a drag queen to perform. I guess I got serious about it my junior year. I decided I really wanted to win Miss Gamecock. That would have been 2013. I won the next year. Performing at the Birdcage was one of my goals in my sophomore year, and now I've done it twice. To me, drag is important just because it challenges kind of everything that we base our society on. It challenges the gender binary, that women have this role and that men have this role, and there's no other options, nothing in between, no gray area. And if you step outside of those boundaries, you often get a violent reaction. I always try to be the most shocking person in a room because it makes people more comfortable to say what they want to say, because they kind of reason, well, I can't say anything worse than what they just said. And so when I'm in drag, I have a full beard, I do really extreme makeup, and I don't try to make myself pass, quote-unquote, as a real, quote-unquote, woman. And it freaks people out. I mean, people stare at me. I've had things thrown at me. I've been yelled at, obviously. I have other drag queens tell me that, like, I'm gross and that, like, I'm not trying hard enough is one thing. Because for some drag queens, their goal is to look as much like a woman as possible. That is not at all my goal. My goal is to entertain. I think that when you have a comedian on stage, that makes things so much more fun. Drag to me is just a way of sharing queer culture with people and hopefully making some kind of social change out of what we consider an art form.